Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Action Indoor Sports Salisbury here in South Australia for the final series of the 2019 Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. I'm Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show here. It's our pleasure to bring you this game throughout the final series. Gary, good afternoon.
Hello, Cameron, and I'm never going to get tired of hearing that, mate. I've got to tell you, I do like it. I do like it, mate.
This is the over 40 men's minor semi-final. It is between Victoria and New South Wales. Our umpire is Paul Todd from South Australia, and he gets us underway with Dean Liddy. Chance at the top, a little bit of fumbling there, a desperate dive from Stuart Adams. Gets home for the single. John Puckeridge, his partner, is now at the striker's end. Sudden death indoor cricket, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your company as we take you through the game. Promises to be a cracker between the two blue sides. Here's Liddy, leg side that time. Puckeridge happy to let it go behind him. New South Wales like to be batting first in this sudden death final. Another leg side. Easy runs early for the New South Welshmen. If you're new to indoor cricket, extras come in the form of leg sides, wides, no balls, 2 runs to the total. You don't get the delivery again though, unless it is the last over of the batting pair. This one clearly isn't. 2 to come in Liddy's over now after that dot ball. And it's a wide. That's the 6th run now that's come in the over from an extra. Just the one coming off the bat. It's a poor start from Liddy. Yeah,
it is. And if you're New South Wales, you're happy to have a couple of siders like that to get your way into the game, feel yourself around. So, that'll be very welcome by New South Wales.
That's well played there by John Puckeridge. It's just a single, though. 8 runs from the first over. It's a good start for the Blues.
It is New South Wales outfit doing very well. I might quickly run through their teams with a bit of a lull in the battle. They're captained by Todd A. Birakovsky, Nigel Deakin, Michael Horgan, Jason Smith, Stuart Adams, John Puckeridge, Matthew Howell and Adam Britt. They are coached by Stephen Elliott. The Victorian outfit captained by Chris Allen, Darren Kneebone, Warren Huffenden, Andrew Robjant, Matt Mallier, Dean Liddy, Craig DeCast and Paul Scott. This is interesting, coached by Craig DeCast, who is out on court, but he hasn't given himself the captaincy. He's given that to Chris Allen.
It's a great delivery there from Craig DeCast. Yeah, Chris Allen, pretty experienced campaigner, former Australian Masters player as well, originally from Tasmania, and a long-time servant of Victoria as well. So it's a good leadership combination. I think there's a couple of teams where you've got player coaches that aren't captains as well. So plenty of leaders on the court for Victoria as they move the score to 9 in this sudden death game. The winner will earn the right to play the loser of the major semi taking place between the Australian Capital Territory and Queensland. Now, it's been a pretty competitive tournament in the over 40s. The 2 standout teams clearly have been the ACT and Queensland, the top 2 sides. And then Victoria and New South Wales very tight. So it's anyone's game, this one.
Yeah, well, only half a point separates these 2 teams on the competition ladder. Victoria finishing on 38, New South Wales finishing on 37.5. So, you're quite right. And you don't often see half a point on competition ladders. That's because there was a draw during the week. New South Wales drawing with South Australia.
Yeah, now, interesting, Victoria actually only have more points by virtue of finishing in the top 3 after the first round of games. They've sort of been artificially inflated to stay in the top 3 because once you finish there after the first round, you see a wicket fall. Good sharp piece of fielding there in the front court. Nice catch, and Adams loses his wicket.
And he's pretty filthy with himself
too,
Adams.
Not happy, yeah. It's funny, New South Wales always get pretty filthy when they lose a wicket. But artificially inflated. But what interests me about Victoria, they've only won 12 skins in the whole comp. And that's, well, it's the 3rd lowest, and they've finished in the top 3. And it's well, it's 9 less than New South Wales have won. You know, and it's only 2 more than second last place South Australia won. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a
just
funny old table, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like they've won a lot of games with one skin, which is interesting. But skins mean very little in finals, so it's probably an irrelevant stat, to be honest. And Andrew Robjant will bowl the next over after a good over from Craig DeCasty. Yeah, straight into the legs there, Puckeridge. Good delivery. What sort of score do you think New South Wales will be looking at here, Gary?
Yeah, it's been interesting. New South Wales have had some big wins and they've had some little wins. As I'll let you talk through that replay that's coming up.
Yeah, it's Puckeridge just chasing the ball as it went down leg and edged into the net and caught well. As you see here on the replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au, he just chased it, caught the back net and well fielded there at backward square leg, I should say. Can't quite see who that is down there for Victoria. Need to clean my glasses, but Mallier it was, Matt Mallier. Great piece of fielding. Oh, and Puckeridge responds in force with a big 7. That was still going, Gary Lowe.
He's bombed that one. It deserves 14. He has smashed the cover off the ball. All timing, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Great shot.
Oh, very nearly played around his legs onto the stumps there, Adams. He has a laugh at that one. Doesn't need to get upset at losing the wicket. He just kept it. But, gee, that's 7. That's a big response to 2 wickets in 3 balls. Gets them right back on track, New South Wales.
Yeah, it does. And then just to answer to your question, what kind of score New South Wales would be looking at, as that ball stays down just a little bit, but dealt with pretty well there by Stuart Adams. You know, New South Wales, they'll be looking at around the mid-80s. That's where they're at this tournament. Past score for this kind of division is, you know, around about that as it is. So if they can get around that 80, 85 target, that's where they're normally at, and I think it's going to be quite competitive.
As Andrew Robjant's over comes to an end, 1 for 3 from that over. It was well bowled, just that one sort of just over-pitch delivery that was brilliantly timed by John Puckeridge. Kept New South Wales in the hunt, but 10 runs with 1 over to play. They're looking at around that 80. They're a little bit behind par, so a really important over now coming up for both Victoria and for New South Wales. It looks like it's going to be Mallier to bowl it. It is. And Adams will be on strike. What sort of a tournament has Mallier had with the ball, Gary?
Yeah, well, he's taken 9 wickets from his 12 overs, which is an average of 1.5 wickets a game. Obviously, you can't have 1.5 wickets in the game, so you'd be expecting him to take either 1 or 2. Doesn't concede too many runs. He's actually got the best bowling figures in terms of his runs conceded. Only 32 runs coming from his 12 overs. So, yeah, he's obviously been employed here to try and wrestle back some of the momentum that they started off with, which New South Wales took away after Puckeridge hitting that big 7.
Well, Puckeridge just playing a very fine indoor cricket shot there for 2 to maintain some of that momentum in this over. Driven flat, a chance, a little bit of a juggle. I think that's all that cost them there. It was a great piece of fielding, another great piece of fielding there in the front court. Who's that? It's Kneebone.
He's done really well to move to his right to get that in, and quick grab and quick release as well. So that's
just a little juggle there, as we might have seen there on the replay.
Tiniest little bobble, perhaps.
That bought an extra half a second for Puckeridge to make his ground. 2 balls remain now in the batting pair to score on 16. Fairly even start so far. Caught some of the line. It's a leg side. Looked like a leg side to me. All too often you see the bowlers have a bit of a sook about that. All it's got to do is just got to touch that line, doesn't it? Just got to touch the line. Yeah.
That's it. It's where the line is, where the crease is. That's that kind of T intersection there. Sorry, that's the important part. It's allowed to cross the line once the ball's gone past the crease. That's okay. But that line where the crease meets that leg side wide line. Any part of that, that's 2 runs.
That's a great delivery to finish from Mallier. It was a good over. a little bit loose in the beginning, allowed a couple of easy twos, and they get to 8 runs off the over and 18 for the pair. It's a good start from New South Wales. Once again, it's the minor semi-final here in the over 40 men's division. It's the 2019 Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships for Cricket Australia. And Cameron Walter alongside Gary Lowe. It's New South Wales up against Victoria. New South Wales with 18 runs on the board after their opening pair, and Tode Berikoski and Jason Smith coming in. Tode Berikoski, captain of this side and a former captain of the Australian over 35 men, so some international experience for him.
Yeah, he's had a really good tournament. He's almost scored the most amount of runs in his team without having played the most amount of games. So the highest run scorer for this side is Matthew Holwell, who's played 8 games, scored 95 runs. Oh, skittled. First pill. My goodness.
What a rock that was. Great start from Warren Haffenden. That's exactly the start you need. And he's done it to the New South Wales skipper on ball 1.
Yeah, well, Tode Berikoski, 7 games, 92 runs. The second best average in his team, 13.14 runs. So he's right up there in terms of the highest run scorers for this division. And first ball, the zing bars have lit up. The stumps have gone crashing back. And it's advantage Victoria.
Chance at the top. It was a great piece of fielding from Rob Jant, but just untidy at the back, I think. Almost has robbed himself of a wicket there, Liddy.
He's really getting a bit of movement through the area, isn't he, Haffenden?
Yeah, he's a quality bowler, Warren Haffenden. And he's asking plenty of questions here of the New South Wales batsman. A little bit too full that time, a wonderful shot. Smith makes no mistake.
Well, that's outstanding. It's been almost a full Yorker length right on his toes, and he has whipped that away high into the 3 net. You have to go a long way in an Uber to find a better indoor cricket shot than that. New South Wales on 19. We've discussed it in this broadcast previously. They'll be looking at around that 80, 85. Anything north of 90 would be a huge win for them. This is the last delivery of the 5th over. Haffenden comes in. Oh, 2 scored. Rocking back, hitting that high into the springs. Well, what a clinic by Smith thus far.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of luck with the runs so far this tournament,
no,
and largely because he's lost his wicket 9 times. But he's looked pretty comfortable here, I think.
Yeah, he's gotten up this morning. He's had the right breakfast. He's gotten out on the correct side of the bed. Whatever he's done, it's working.
What's your pick? What cereal do you think he had this morning?
Oh, mate, he's a Kellogg's Cornflakes, man, with strawberries in it.
Strawberries?
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit classy, isn't it?
Mate, some of the produce down here in Adelaide is some of the finest you'll see anywhere in the country.
Oh, South Australian tourism giving you some kickbacks, mate.
Ka-ching.
Now, here's the skipper for the Vicks, Chris Allen. Important over here. They were on top of this pair earlier, courtesy of that first ball wicket. I want to maintain the pressure. Here comes Chris. Ooh, sneaks that one in behind the lines. Dot ball to start. Bit of a grin from him as he comes back to his mark. I think he feels like he got away with that one.
And a rather pronounced grin as he's sporting the mouth guard as he's bowling.
Just a little peek around the corner there. Comes in and a great delivery. We're just talking about how comfortable Smith has looked. And that ball's beaten him fairly convincingly, and already 3rd ball in the over. Again, if you're new to indoor cricket, the score has to change after 2 consecutive dots. It'll either happen from runs or the loss of a wicket. Here's Allen to Smith on 3rd ball. Well judged by Smith. Adjusted to the movement. Happy to get it away for a single. Chance at the top. Rob Janney hits the direct hit, and Berikoski just short of his ground. What a piece of fielding that is from Rob Jen. He's looked very sharp on that 3 line, and he cashes in with a wicket for the Vicks.
Yeah, he's been looking dangerous for quite some time and taking full opportunity there and hitting the stumps. Direct hit. Good call by umpire Todd as well.
Yeah, great piece of fielding, great piece of umpiring. Unsighted, would have had body between the bat, but he just knew that was out. Victoria right on top of this pair. 2 wickets so far, -1 on the board. The total is 17. He's getting away with that behind the leg side. Behind the legs of the left-hander is Chris Allen.
Yeah, I think it was the first delivery he got away with one, and he's done it again here. So a game of millimetres at the moment. 2 on the leg side, so he's targeting that area. He does again this tide, but getting it well wrong, and that is the over. New South Wales move to 19. Might take the quick opportunity to recognise umpire Paul Todd, who just very, very recently was awarded the 2019 Community Official of the Year at a Sport for All Awards night that was held in Melbourne.
And you got to clarify that. That's nationally. That's not just at South Australia. The National Community Cricket Official of the Year.
That's right. So he won his local. When I say local, it was a statewide one, but he won one for South Australia and had the opportunity to go to Melbourne and up against some wonderful other candidates isn't the word. What's the other word I'm thinking of?
Nominees.
Thank you very much. Yep, some other nominees. And, a very humble man is Toddy, as he's more affectionately known, and has been umpiring this game for an awfully long time. And just want to take the quick opportunity on behalf of a forever grateful indoor cricket community to umpire Todd for his efforts and services to the sport.
Paul Scott is the bowler now for Victoria, bowling the 7th over. Toddy Berikowski on strike, and a wonderful shot that is, but a chance at the top, the flick. Oh, if it had hit, it would have been tight.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where the umpire and you're just thinking, please don't hit. I don't have to make a decision on this. This is too close.
You're revealing all these secrets about an umpire. We want to believe that they're robots, mate. We don't want to know that there's any of that in their mind.
Unfortunately, they do put their pants on one leg at a time.
That's brilliant.
Sharp.
He's been effective all game down there in that front court knee bone. Hasn't actually converted into wickets all the time, but he's in the game every ball. That's brilliant fielding. As you see here on the replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au. Just a great piece of work there. A nice little tidy slap. And the keeper to Castor makes no mistake. Another wicket, and the Blues are in a bit of trouble here. And
look, it's also the anticipation of the fielder there as well, as in he's being proactive in his... Oh, that has only just missed. And it's been given out. The bail must have fallen just at the end, and it has. It'll be interesting to see if the replay can catch that one, Cam Walter.
It must have just feathered past those stumps. Here is another replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au. It's just feathered past the stumps, and it's bowled him. You can see Berikowski look back. He had no idea why he was out. Yeah, he looked down at the bail, and then he realised.
It was a late call, and the umpire was just waiting for that bail to pop off the top of the stump, and it did. But yeah, just getting back to Kneebone and the play that he did a couple of deliveries before, it's being proactive in the fielding as opposed to reactive and being behind the play. So he's looked and saw where the bat was going and where he anticipated the ball to be and made good positive movements towards it, as opposed to chasing the ball. And that could have been close if that was gloved, and it is out because the batters have been caught down the same end.
Well, you're just seeing the wheels start to fall off now. Yep. They both have hit some really good indoor cricket shots, but the flow of those wickets, the tumble, that's the 3rd one in this over. Smith wasn't looking at his partner. Berikowski hadn't moved, and they're now -11 after 7 overs, and it's all Victoria now.
And I know it might sound silly to say with a Masters tournament, but they need to show a little bit of indoor cricket maturity here and understand the circumstance of the game. New South Wales are on 7, and they're reeling, and they've just released the shackles. That was either going to be feast or famine, that was one of two things, and he's come up with a pavlova in his face. He's loving it. Big feast.
A pavlova in his face?
Yep.
What, on his face?
Just smashed in his gob.
Well, 3 for -5 off that over. That had something every ball. Runs, wickets, chances, and well, it just shows we're in for an exciting game here. New South Wales, prior to that 7, I was thinking, gee, they're in a world of hurt here. But that just shows how quickly the game can turn. These guys, I suspect we might see a little bit more of that as they get back positive and get things on track for New South Wales. they'll back themselves to defend just about anything here, the Blues.
Yeah, and look, if I'm Victoria by the same token, I don't mind. I don't enjoy being smashed for 7, but I don't mind them taking risks like that. You know, they're really trying to chase to get back here to positives. So if you're Victoria, you'd be quite comfortable in knowing that another opportunity is probably going to come as they're going to start taking some risks.
Yeah, well, indeed, as Kneebone, the man who's been on fire in the field there in the front court on the onside, he's now bowling the final over to the second pair. The score -2 for the pair, 16 for the total. It's all happening here at Action Indoor Sports Salisbury. Full and a great shot there from the skipper. 2 runs for the Blues. See, Burakovsky still prepared to be a little bit disciplined there. He would have been tempted to slap that into the back court, but happy to take 2, a definitive 2 at that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Smith who's going to be the one to
have a chance. Crack. Oh, a little bit of yes-no cricket.
And a bit of a tentative shot there. Didn't really know what he wanted to do, just kind of paddled it. Didn't know if he wanted to come forward and hit through or if he wanted to defend. Kind of caught somewhere in the middle. Can be a bit dangerous. New South Wales, first skin 18. Second skin on 2. The total is 20.
Chance there, but falls safe. And the fact that Burakovsky wasn't looking at his partner and hadn't moved was negated by the fact that the ball was free of the fielder. He gets home the score 4. And 2 balls remain. Another little fend into the onside of the left-handed Smith. Happy to just take 2. We've almost conceded this pair, New South Wales. Just happy to get back positive and not lose another wicket. Probably the right approach. The way Victoria were coming.
Absolutely. Things could have been super grim for New South Wales, but they've really done well to get out of it. And there's another good shot on the leg side.
Yeah, good stuff from the New South Wales skipper. Moves the skin to 8 and the total to 26 after 2 batting pairs. But Victoria certainly on top after a brilliant performance, particularly in the over of Paul Scott, who scored, took 3 for -5. And ladies and gentlemen, it is the minor semi-final here in the over 40 men's division at the Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. We're coming to you from Action Indoor Sports Salisbury in South Australia. I'm Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show through Facebook, YouTube and indoor.cricket.com.au. Thank you so much for your company through this, the final series. As we watch this game unfold, New South Wales up against the Vics. Sudden death indoor cricket, 26 on the board after 2. How do you see it, Lowy?
Yeah, well, I think that New South Wales have done really, really well to fight back to where they were. Victoria have got their noses in front at this stage, 26 after 2 batting partnerships have come out. You'd have to say that they're on top. This third batting partnership, one of the stronger ones for New South Wales. Nigel Deakin in particular, he's got the highest run average of 18, the highest strike rate of 157 for this side. So expect big things from him. And Michael Horgan's not too shabby himself, averaging 10. So at the moment, as the tournament's gone, this batting partnership up near the 30s. So if they can put something on like that, they'll be looking at a tick over 50 for the full score, and that'll be getting things back kind of on track again. They'll need to take up a bit of the slack that the second skin didn't do.
Yeah, it's a good start so far from Rob Jant. Third ball, but I'm really interested to see Deacon's approach, with such a high strike rate. Whether we'll see. Yeah. That's a big hitting. Third ball it is. Followed it around the corner. A chance at the top. Gee, that was a great piece of fielding from Chris Allen down there at square leg. If that was a direct hit, Deakin would have been out. Yeah, it would have surprised him too.
I think he had him on toast, and I think that Deakin wasn't really quite prepared for that throw either. And came back with some flames on it. It was thrown like an absolute rocket.
Oh, what a delivery that is. It's cut back in, and he's too busy worrying about practicing his shot that he wasn't looking for the extra. See that so often in indoor cricket. Maybe they wouldn't have run it anyway, but still. 2 to come in the 9th over. Enough width there to get away for 2. Been another good over for Rob Jant. Whoa, bit of confusion. Misfield from Allen. They almost got through for runs. At the same time, created an opportunity for a run out. Great over from Rob Jan. He finishes with figures of 1 for 6. And despite not losing a wicket, very tidy over. That just has this pair under the pump early. Got some work to do, the New South Wales Blues.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be looking for a little bit more than that. But the important thing is they're not losing any wickets. It's always got to be a positive thing in indoor cricket. Be something to focus on. Player coach coming into bowl now.
Yeah, to cast bowled a good first over as well. With 1 for -1. And with that dot, puts them on third ball straight away. Important moment of the game here, as all third balls are. Fended away, they scamper through for a single. I'm waiting to see this 150 strike rate from Nigel Deakin.
Yeah, he's been a little bit reserved thus far, hasn't he?
There it is. Great shot, and the best part about that 7 for New South Wales and Nigel Deakin is it was up high and wide into the net, so that took the possibility of a run out off the net out of the equation. A well-placed 7 there from Deakin. Followed up immediately by a leg side. Important runs for New South Wales.
And played with a great deal of control as well, that 7 shot. It wasn't rash. It was very, very well timed, and Cam Walter, quite right in his comments, hitting perfectly into the top left-hand corner of that 7 zone. So he wasn't really happy with us having a go at him about his lack of strike rate in his batting partnership, and he's gone, okay, well, welcome to the party, boys. Here's a 7.
Final ball, and it falls safe by virtue of the fact that Victoria have a 2-man leg side field. That opened up that space there for Horgan. And takes another 2 runs. And they move their partnership to 15 runs in the total to it's either 41? Yeah, 41. So they're back on track here, New South Wales.
Yeah.
With 6 overs remaining.
And that's the thing, that first batting pair got 20. I'm just going to round up. First batting pair got 20. Second batting pair got 10. Rounding again. So this batting pair is going to have to take up the slack and get around about that 30, and they're going to come out possibly all even Stevens again. So it's going to be interesting, and they'll be on track for around about that 80. So at the moment, New South Wales doing well to recover from that second batting partnership. But although they've brought on Chris Allen again, who did a bit of damage last time.
Well, he's overpitched that time, and he's sent into the back court. Just wait for the call to see. Yeah, it was hit the front court side net first, so it's 2 runs. Just got to get his length on song again, Chris Allen. Stop ball, watchfully called by New South Wales. I think my takeaway at the moment for Deakin, big hitter, big strike rate, but he does it to the right balls. He hasn't tried to manufacture too much here, which I think is impressive. That one he might have manufactured a little bit, uppishly played outside off, but
I tell you what,
the gap.
When he hits it, it stays hit, doesn't it? He's a strong human being, and he is bashing the living daylights out of that ball when it's in the zone for him to hit.
Edged and safe. 2 balls remain. It's been an important pair so far for New South Wales. They're right back on track. Can they keep it going? Horgan just not hitting the ball as cleanly at the moment, but doing his job. Hasn't lost a wicket. He's just getting through, keeping the score ticking over. Yeah,
and it's really important to know the role that you play within a team and within a partnership. You can't always get your name in the newspaper the next day. Sometimes someone else has to play the star.
Oh, that's a certain chance going down. Liddy's well placed for that catch. He's
Yeah.
nice and deep in the sweeper's position. It just didn't fall cleanly off the net. And Deacon gets away with a 3. He's chancing his arm here a little bit.
He is 15 total off his bat. So he's starting to move along a little bit. 25 for the Skin, 51 the total for New South Wales. And this is the last over of the batting pair. So they'll definitely be pushing along above 30, providing no wicket falls, you'll feel.
Well, that's the pair they needed after 8, isn't it? They absolutely
perfect.
needed that.
It's perfect for them. So it'd be very interesting to see who Victoria decide to bowl.
Gone with Liddy, who bowled the first over, was a bit wayward. So a bit wayward in terms of extras. So
Yeah.
very interesting that they're bowling him in the last over here, where those extras can come as not only the runs but the extra deliveries as well. It's a bit of a gamble here. Will it pay off for the Vicks? Well, not so far.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that Dean Liddy's the man to be bowling the 12th over.
Do you feel like maybe they're trying to get rid of an over here? Like they don't fancy Liddy against the final 2 batsmen, I should say, and they think that these 2 will get whatever they get off any bowler, let alone Liddy?
Yeah. I think that if they wanted to get rid of the over of Liddy, it could have been positioned somewhere else other than the 12th.
Yeah, well, Deacon, he's turned up to play, hasn't he? He's just sent that down in a 5. Again, wasn't the most convincing shot in the universe, but the placement of it was perfect. It threaded the needle through to the backcourt for 5, and these 2 moved to 32, 22 of which have come from the bat of Nigel Deacon. A chance now. Oh!
And someone's lost a shoe. Cinderella's out there, mate.
Oh, is he alive? Don't you normally, someone loses a shoe, it's been a fatal accident. Well, that's good calling there. I thought there was an opportunity there for Victoria. But again, they're persisting with this 2-man field on the legs of Horgan, and he's got away with a couple outside off there.
And you can see Huffenden here at the receiver position just really starting to urge his team on, trying to get them up and about and lift. 3 deliveries left in the 12th over. And this batting partnership are moving along and given out by umpire Todd. Caught short, sharp fielding in the front court.
Is that knee-bone again? Let's have a look here on the replay thanks to playcricket.com.au. Just tucked in, and yeah, knee-bone, no mistake, and a tidy piece of keeping. That's how it's done.
Well, that
They needed
works.
that.
Yeah, they did. That works out perfectly for them. And a little bit of game awareness lacking here. We've got Nigel Deacon running on the side with 2 fielders on the leg side.
Now, look, I'm not sure that it's possible that he just hasn't been hip to it, but I'm a little bit the same as Deacon. I don't mind running where that traffic is. The onus is on the fielder. I mean, if they have to be fielding the ball to get in your way,
Yeah.
and I prefer to be on that side of the wicket. So I don't do it all the time, but it's possible it's a deliberate choice on his part.
Well, you like to live dangerously, mate.
Oh, well.
You're modern-day Austin Powers.
When I'm at the non-strikers end, it's usually a better thing that I stay there, so it's not usually an issue.
Tell me about it, brother. I know the feeling all too well, mate.
Oh, another extra there, and I'll just see the last ball off for a dot, but a partnership of 33, 24 runs from Nigel Deacon. Important little partnership that was. And Holwell and Britt will come out to finish the innings for New South Wales with a little bit of momentum back in their column. We'll do a quick check into the major semi between ACT and Queensland. Queensland are doing pretty well at the moment in what will be a pretty tight game after 3 pairs. The ACT are on 48. An important final partnership to come up. It'll be John Harris and Bill Flores out for the ACT side. Not a lot of distance between the Queensland and the ACT side, so fascinating viewing. As is this game, 59 runs on the board now for New South Wales. Malia is coming to the back of the court. He's going to bowl the 13th over. What do you think the approach to this last pair is going to be for New South Wales, Gary?
Well, this batting pair will generally be hitting around the mid-20s, just generally speaking, without them doing too much of the risky stuff. So I'm certain they'll be keen to get north of 80. 80, 85 is where they'd want to be. 6 runs and over. That's all they need to do. I think that they'll back themselves to be able to defend it. The Victorians, as we watch this ball skewed away into the corner for 1 run, the Victorians are only averaging somewhere around 60 in their run totals. So if New South Wales can get to that 80, I said they only need 6 and over, and that's going to about get them there. I think they'll fancy themselves to be able to defend that score. So nothing risky required from them at this stage. In terms of the runs that they concede as well, the New South Wales side in their fielding, they're only conceding around 60. So Victoria only scoring about 60. New South Wales only conceding 60. You'd guess that's where the second innings is going to fall.
Yeah, interesting stats there, which means that every run above it is so important.
Yeah, well, we're at 60 at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, it's all bonus territory.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, another run to the total with 1 ball remaining in Malia's over. Been a tight contest so far. Driven straight.
Did he get a touch?
Yeah, he's not appealing for it. That's good. So you see so many times just an automatic appeal when it's gone nowhere. So I appreciate the sportsmanship there of Malia. That over comes to an end. .1, .1, 1 dot. Not a bad over.
That's pretty good.
And a fairly tentative approach throughout that over from these two. I think they're just working their way into the game nicely.
Yeah, no, I don't mind to see that. You've got 4 overs. Obviously, it's not a test match. You don't have the luxury of being out there and seeing 20, 30 deliveries before you start playing yourself into an innings. But on a smaller scala, I don't mind seeing players just work their way into a game.
Heffernan to bowl his second over. He bowled a good first over. They'll need another one from him here. It's well dealt with there by Holwell. Didn't find the net, but a comfortable single. Chance at the top. Rob Gent's too good there, and Liddy lets it go. That's the second opportunity. I think Liddy's cost them there at the back.
Yeah, you don't even need to potentially glove it. Just that little push back down onto the stumps as well is sometimes sufficient enough. And, it was really good service provided. Wicket gone begging.
Service wasn't bad, but I think that Rob Gent tried to tread the line between pegging the stumps down and a soft throw for the receiver. You've got to do one or the other. Like, have a go or get it to the receiver.
Yep. Caught a little bit somewhere in the middle, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Lovely shot there from Holwell. Just had the length and the time to do that. 2 balls remain.
Are my eyes fooling me, or is Craig DeCasti there on offside sweeper position wearing 2 shoes of 2 different colours, bright orange and bright yellow? Is that correct, or have I gone completely bonkers?
No, you're on the money there. I'm not sure what that's all about. Is it a bit of a look at me thing?
Mate, it must be.
A way of distracting his opponent, maybe? Yeah, look, he's having a conversation with him about the shoes right now. Magic. And look, another tidy over from Heffernan. The most important part of it, the fact that he's bowled 2 dot balls at the end of it. So that's put New South Wales on 3rd ball for the beginning of the 15th over. An important opportunity for Victoria, who I have to say have stayed pretty sharp throughout this latest period where they've gone wicketless. They still look up and about, they still look ready, and they'll need to be if they're going to convert an opportunity here into a wicket on 3rd ball.
Well, they've gone wicketless in this 4th batting partnership, but the batting partnership's only on 7. So I think they've done extremely well as we enter into a 3rd ball opportunity here. Still 2 on the leg side. And it's a foolish delivery outside off. And something that you don't often see as we look at number 18, Rob Jant, on the leg side sweeper position, or
guard.
No, on the 3 line here.
Yeah, it's called guard in Canberra. I thought he was saying all guard, but anyway. Go on.
Us humble Queenslanders usually call the front court 1st and 2nd guard, and the sweepers that will come back, all the 3 line or mid-off, mid-on, whatever you'd like to call it, I suppose. But Rob Gent, what he's doing really, really well is when that ball gets thrown towards the non-striker's end, he's actually coming back and sweeping for the ball. Hopefully that happens now. Someone throw it. See how he's making his way back there? For if that ball's thrown and he goes past the receiver, he's there to tidy it up. It's something you don't see a lot of sweepers do. So that's good. That's what they're meant to do.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's one of the toughest positions in the game to field at. Three to come from Scott's over.
Because you've got to not only be able to know when to come into the front, and there he goes again, just coming back and sweeping. That's really disciplined indoor cricket. That's for all the youngsters and even those of a more elder age, that's a really good model if you're keen on indoor cricket. Outstanding stuff.
Not so that delivery, well wide. Called so by umpire Todd. And 1 ball remains now in the over. 7 balls remain in the innings. New South Wales have moved to 74. A great shot to finish. Another 2 runs. They've moved to 17 for the pair. Gee, this last over, how important is it? The difference between 80 plus and something in the 70s or 60s will come down to this over.
Yeah, you know, we've been discussing what kind of score we think Victoria might be capable of, and certainly not to say that they can't run down 76. It's not saying that even remotely. But what we are saying is that generally speaking, Victoria would be seen to be scoring around that kind of 60-65. So if they can just snaffle a wicket here, I reckon that the Vics will be coming into the second innings and they'll be backing themselves. I think for their own peace of mind, something under 80, if you're a Victorian.
Yeah, definitely. And Kneebone will bowl the final over of the match. Holwell is on strike. Final over the innings, I should say. Holwell's on strike. Defended straight to the cast in that second leg side position there. Hit with a little bit more authority on the offside. A great shot for 2. Score continues to tick over. Driven well right into the corner of the back net for 5. Super important runs for New South Wales.
Yeah, it was timed to perfection and placed even better. Right into the corner. No one's going to be able to get a fingernail on that. 83, New South Wales move 2 with 3 deliveries remaining.
Great shot. Followed up well there by Holwell after Britt's 5 into the back court. 2 to come. They've kicked into the 80s. And the mid-80s, I should say. Driven and straight to Heffernan, who juggles it but takes it. That is a risk I'm not sure that Britt needed to take. They were all over the Vics.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. If he hits the 7, he's a genius, and we're talking him up, and he gets out, and then you know, we think he's a bit of a goose for playing a shot he probably didn't need to. I don't think that there was a requirement for it. You know, if they get just an extra 4 runs, 2 off the next 2 deliveries, they're 89. That's great.
Huge runs.
And now, unfortunately, they're down to 82 is where they're going to finish up. And good, look at that. Rob Gent doing his sweeping and collecting the crumbs. Good indoor cricket. It's thoroughly impressed me, the 18 for Victoria. Look, 82.
Yeah, 82 on the board for New South Wales. That was a fantastic finish to the innings from those 2. The last 2 batting pairs, 33 and 23 respectively. Important runs. It's got them above that, what's always sort of considered to be a pass score of about 80, which is 20 a pair. It'll be right on Victoria to chase this down as we bring you the minor semi-final here, the over 40 men's division at Cricket Australia's Indoor Cricket Masters Championships. New South Wales up against Victoria in this sudden death final. Coming to you from Action Indoor Sports Albury, I'm Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show through Facebook, YouTube and indoor.cricket.com.au. Thanks so much for your company. We hope you are enjoying the coverage. Thanks to our broadcast partners at Sportscast Australia and our long-time ball supplier, Burley Seacombe, the gold standard in indoor cricket ball. 82 runs on the board for New South Wales. I think they'll be happy with that, but they'll have to work really hard to defend it.
Yeah, I think New South Wales will be content. Yep, maybe a small little smile on their face. They'll certainly feel that they'll be able to defend 82. They're going to have to do things right. Victoria, they're going to have to play a little bit out of their skin, a little bit more than what they're probably used to. It is possible. Is it probable? I'm not too sure on that. I'd say New South Wales with their noses in front, but I think the tail of the tape will really be shown at the end of 4 overs. I think that'll give a really good indication on where this game may or may not land.
The first 4, you said?
The first 4 of this Victoria, yeah. So if this batting partnership, if they can scratch out, not even scratch out because 25 is a good score, but if they can get north of 20, yeah, it's super game on. I think if they get 10 or less, I don't think from there that Victoria probably got it in them with the next 3 batting partnerships. So if these guys get off to a reasonable start and get north of 20, it could seriously be done 82.
I think what for mine, if I'm coaching Victoria, I'd try and avoid all this talk of, it's 20 a pair, it's 20 a pair. Because then a pair goes in there thinking, all I need to do is get 20.
Yeah.
Right? And
you're allowed to do better than that if you want.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, every ball on its merits.
Yeah.
If you can put one into the back court, then do it.
Yep.
Don't act like they're chasing 82. Act like they're batting first and trying to score 100.
Yep.
As Jason Smith will open the bowling for New South Wales. Craig DeCast on strike. Paul Scott at the non-strikers end for Victoria. And a nice comfortable 2 for DeCast to start the Victorian innings. Too much width there from Smith.
Yeah, Smith's taken 10 wickets in his 14 games in the New South Wales campaign to be 2019 Masters Indoor Cricket National Champions. Really quite a whippy action as he comes through, just kind of dawdles in, and that arm action's very quick.
Yeah, a couple of people that bowl like that, I don't know, the way they amble in, you think, this will be a nice gentle offie or something.
And then all of a sudden it's on you.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's edged and out. A great sharp catch there. That's Deakin, is it, behind the stumps, and the first wicket falls, a big one for New South Wales. Gee, they would love that. As we take a look at the replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au. There's an example of that ball just getting through a little bit quicker than perhaps Paul Scott thought it would. Finds the edge, and the first wicket falls. Oh, wonderful fielding. John Puckeridge in the front court, leaps into the air, smothers the ball straight back to the keeper, and another wicket. What a one it was for New South Wales. Take a look on the replay, folks. Doesn't get much better than this. Keep your eye on John Puckeridge there in front court. Anticipated the shot, smothers the ball, falls nicely for the keeper, Deakin, and the second wicket in as many balls. Yeah,
it's very akin to the fielding that we saw Kneebone do for the Victorians as well, with that anticipation, anticipating the play, not being reactive to the play, and that's exactly what was done there by the front court of New South Wales. Good indoor cricket.
Yeah, pressure right on now for Victoria. Early wickets gone. Work to do.
Well, what do you think about that for a first over? Pretty handy way to start.
Well, yeah, look, it certainly was. And the thing about it is you learn 2 things from it. First of all, that New South Wales are bowling well. There was, yes, a short and wide delivery, the very first delivery of the innings from Smith. Got his radar on, put 2 through Paul Scott, one of which found the edge.
Yeah.
The second thing you take away from it is how up and about the New South Wales field will be. That piece of fielding from John Puckeridge there in the front court, probably haven't seen enough evidence yet to see if he was just jumping on suspicion or whether it was anticipation, but very, very effective. It's going to be tough for Victoria to score runs against the New South Wales side. Here's Adam Britt. There it is again. What a wonderful piece of fielding again. New South Wales are all over it there in the front court. Take a look at this on your replay. This time, well, again, it was John Puckeridge again. That's 2 in 5 deliveries. Straight to him. Direct hit. How good's that?
Yeah, it's pretty quality stuff, and it doesn't surprise me at all. They've brought on Adam Britt. He's the leading wicket taker for New South Wales, and they really want to apply the blowtorch to the belly of the Victorians here, so I like it. It's an aggressive style of cricket. I think it's the right form of cricket, as we see Horgan is doing a bit of sweeping as well, the number 4 for New South Wales. So, yeah, this is really good. Good fielding from both sides at the moment, New South Wales. Whew, they're red hot.
Look, they certainly are, and there's Puckeridge again, and see, the thing about that is Adams was there to back that up. Puckeridge has had a couple go straight to hand that he's smothered. He fielded that one, and Adams was right behind him and gathered the ball.
Him. Yep.
They are just ready to go in that front field. Gee, that one's tight. Snuck in behind the line there. And they're on third ball. 2 to come in the over, but pressure right on the Vicks.
Yeah, Puckeridge is getting awfully close to that exclusion zone too. He's right on top of the batter.
Chance at the top. Britt can't collect it. With the ball to go, tell us about the exclusion zone, Lowy.
Yeah, so with the exclusion zone, you're not allowed to enter into it. You might be able to see on your screens towards the striker's end. There's a radius around the batter, which is for their safety and also the safety of the fielders. And if you enter into it prior to the ball being struck or the batter making a play at the ball, it is a no ball.
So that brings the over to an end. Another good one for New South Wales. I'm curious about that rule, though. So you're saying prior to the ball being struck or prior to them making a play at the ball. So how do you determine if they've played and missed? When does the play at the ball begin? When they start playing their shot or once they've played their shot?
Once the ball is to where the batter is. So it's basically once the ball has met that batter, that's generally considered that, righto,
you can be in the zone then.
Yep, correct. Yeah.
And is the zone considered an invisible wall?
Correct.
Yep.
So, you can't have your arms extending over that radius. Oh, that would have been out, I'm almost certain. So, again, I think is a 3 metre circle. That I do not know. I'm making things up there, but for some reason 3's jumping out at me. But in terms of the rule, that I definitely do know, is that you can't have it. Even the brim of your cap, it's not allowed to go into that that full circle.
So tell me, how do you as an umpire stand on a platform that's some 10 feet in the air, add your height to that, and be able to adjudicate something like that?
With great difficulty.
Tough one.
Yeah. It's one of the tougher decisions to make.
Oh, loose shot there.
Very loose shot.
Craig DeCast. And another wicket falls. He didn't need that.
Yeah, it's also one of those, in my opinion, the toughest call to make as an umpire is a no ball too high for the front shoulder. Very, very tricky. But also those ones where you've got to see where the ball is, particularly, say, the player that's on the 3 line moving into the front court. They're allowed to do that once the ball's been released. So you've got to have your eyes on the ball being released and a player's foot landing in the front court. Oh, Cameron Wilder, talk us through it. This is absolutely game on here. Gee whiz, Victoria, -16.
Yeah, and DeCast going for a very similar shot to the one he just played before, almost a pull shot, this time finding the bottom edge. And, well, no, he didn't even do that. It's straight onto the stumps. And, critical wicket there. Just 2 loose shots from DeCast at the wrong time, and it's all New South Wales. 2 to come. Birakowski on a hat-trick. Oh, sharp from Puckeridge again. Through for a single, though, Victoria. The next 7 deliveries are important for Victoria. At the moment, they're now 97 runs away from an 82-run total.
Yeah,
they need to get back to positive, or as close to 0 as they can.
It stinks, isn't it? You come out here, you're chasing 82, all of a sudden you got to be chasing 97. I mean, how's that fair?
Not if you're batting second. Oh, straight through again. The New South Wales skipper, 3 for -12 in his over, and he has helped his side take control of this game. What an over that was from Tode Birakowski. Take a look at the replay again. Thanks to playcricket.com.au. Take the floor, play indoor. And there it is. Just deceived him for pace, I think. Critical over in the match. And -20 after 3 overs. My word.
Yes, my word indeed. And it was something that I did make mention of, that I thought would have a good understanding of where this game would be heading after the first 4 overs of this Victorian batting innings. And it has spoken, and it has spoken with absolute conviction that New South Wales are going to be well on top of this, and it's going to be awfully difficult, and that's a rash shot there. It's going to be awfully difficult for Victoria to come home from here. 102 is what they're chasing at the moment. Once the umpire adds the score on, that'll change. With 12 overs going by the performances of Victoria in the tournament thus far. If I was going to bet a minty or a can of nondescript branding, I would say that it'd be New South Wales.
Well, look, I spoke before the commencement of this innings about the need for them to bat as if they're batting first, okay? And New South Wales have absolutely bowled brilliantly and fielded even better.
Yeah.
Okay, that does not, in my mind, mean the game is over. There's still 3 pairs after this one. If these two lose another wicket, well, that makes life harder. But the next pair, for me, will win or lose the game for Victoria. They need 30 or 40 runs. If they don't get that, it's game over. Simple as that. And they have to bat like that. We've talked a couple of times today, Gary, about teams that fend it away and wait for the bad ball. You cannot afford to do that when you're chasing this many runs now. They have to come out in this next pair with some intent and look to score 40 runs. 2 to come. Slapped back to the bowler. It'll be a dot. Final ball of the first pair. It's been all New South Wales at the moment. What can the player coach, Craig DeCaster, come up with? Oh, he's down up to into the backcourt for 4. Valuable runs in an innings that didn't go the way of Victoria, but that helps keep them in the game, that does. -9, that means they've got to get, 92 runs to win the game off the next 3 batting pairs. Not outside the realm of possibility. Chris Allen and Rob Gent have come in now. They're batting second. Victoria will win or lose the game in these 4 overs, I would think. I hope you are enjoying it. Fascinating indoor cricket, ladies and gentlemen, through Facebook, YouTube, and indoor.cricket.com.au. And Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show. What do we got?
Mate, well, what we've got on our hands is a very interesting game indeed. I mean, they're chasing 91 for victory. Victoria, this tournament, their highest score across 16 overs. I mean, they've only now got 12 overs to play with, but their highest score's been 111. That was against South Australia. Take that out of the equation, and then the next highest score's been 90, and that's across 16 overs. I'm not talking about the 12 they've got to play with. So in order for them to win, they have got to bat completely out of their skin and really take advantage of some loose deliveries. Be patient, wait for that loose one, and get the maximum runs on offer.
Oh, well, you know, see, that's where I'll disagree with you. I don't think they got the time to be patient for all of those reasons that you just talked about in terms of the scores that they've scored before. That 111, that 90 being the upper echelon of what they've scored has come as a result of patience. That's come as a result of them waiting for that bad ball. I don't think they can afford to now. Maybe they can wait till maybe the 3rd or 4th pair to not be patient, but they won't be able to just construct a chase here. And, gee, Chris Allen is looking very uncomfortable between wickets.
He's not looking very fit.
So, yeah, they've got a mountain to climb here to Victoria, and it'll be a statistical anomaly if they do it.
Oh, it would be.
But finals cricket's a funny thing. 2 to come in Holwell's over. Well kept off the net. The flick nowhere near the stump, so a stumble diving Rob Gent was safe. A quick check in at the major semi-final. Queensland looking pretty comfortable at the moment. 24 runs in their first 4 overs in pursuit of 75. They're probably in the box seat there. Holwell's final ball. It's through the gap, but unbelievably Victoria did not run for a couple of reasons.
Talk to me.
To the fielder to begin with, and then because Chris Allen's carrying that injury, he did not follow up after the misfield. He didn't run. Yeah,
that's crazy. If he's going to be out there, he needs to be able to do some things. You know, if he can't, you know, it might be well worth their while to get him out of there. And it's interesting to see if he came into the game with that injury. I don't think he had any problems with his bowling. You know, he was moving quite fluently.
I think his second over, I saw him grimacing a little bit. So if he did carry it in, he certainly worsened it in this through the course of the fielding innings.
Yeah. So I mean, he's well within his right to stick his mitt up in the air and be substituted out of the game. Quite different terminology in indoor cricket between a replacement and a substitute player. We won't go into that now because we just don't have enough time. It'll take hours to run through that particular rule, but he would be substituted out.
Oh, it's put down. I thought for sure that was a simple catch. Just misread it off the bat, I think.
And that's 8 runs right there. It should have been -5 taken off, but instead 3 scored. That's 8-run difference. That's what they need here, the Vics. They just need a little bit of luck. And if Victoria gets this ball, you would be throwing it right to the non-striker's end because you know that Chris Allen is running a little bit lame.
He's in Struggle Town. And there's another example.
He needs to go, mate. If I'm Craig DeCast, I'm getting him out. That's
well, if he stays,
no good.
He's got to come up with the goods, and that's either wires that help him make it or back net shots. I mean, he's like that. I mean, if he's going to continue the game, he's got to produce the goods, or he is the captain, because I can understand there might be some reluctance on the part of the player coach, Craig Casty. Yeah, you've got to trust your player, but he as the captain, if he's not capable of getting through this, he's got to make the call. Yeah,
and please understand I'm not taking away from the noble endeavour that he's undertaking to lead his team and to do well. It's very noble and it's quite admirable. But he's not right.
No.
I mean, he's using the bat as a walking stick for crying out loud. So
last ball for Horgan. See, even that was in play, and I think with every run that goes by, he's getting worse. So, gee, he'll have to come up with the goods here. They're on 12 runs. Well, it'll be more than that with that too. 14 runs after 2. He's not looking in a good way, but he looks like he's going to continue. He'll have to produce something special, the old hop along out there.
Just as you were saying that, I thought he was walking towards the back of the court to leave, but no, he is staying. Well, I'm actually quite amazed that he's continuing on, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm a bit harsh, I'm not too sure, but...
Look, I'm surprised by it as well. But I just, as I keep saying, he's got to make it count. If he's going to stay out there, he has to ensure that he is better than someone being picked to bat an extra 2 overs will be.
Yep.
And that doesn't necessarily mean he needs to score 1,000 runs, but he has to be worth more to the team across the next 12 balls as a healthier sub-batsman would be.
Yep, on board with that one.
Just means there won't be many stolen runs, I suspect.
No.
Adam Britt bowling now, his second over. The first one, 1 wicket for 0. See, that's a run.
Yeah, that's a run.
Yeah.
Easy a run.
Yeah.
No, I'm not loving what I'm seeing, Cameron Walter. I'm not loving it.
Well, third ball, this will test him. Oh, it's well done by Rob Jant. Gives Allen plenty of time to get home. See, well, I mean, there's another example. Offended, maybe it was a run, maybe it wasn't, but they weren't even looking for it.
Yeah.
And what the injury's done is that they're on the back foot straight away. So, interesting times. They're keeping their side in the game, though, so it's working so far. Well, see, through for runs, through the gap, 2 runs. Rob Jant came back, though.
Yeah,
because
he was concerned about Allen.
That's right. So, they're getting away with it, but I don't like it.
And you know what? I'll try and be the glass half full kind of guy. They're on 18. Like that's,
they're batting well. They're batting well,
I mean?
Make no mistake. Yeah.
Makes you wonder what would have happened if he was fit and healthy, what more they could have possibly been on, because there's probably been 4 or 5 extra runs out there that they haven't taken due to that injury. So that really possibly could have been a 23.
I think the most important part at the moment is that the injury and the indecisiveness and the fact they're on the back foot, because of it, hasn't necessarily resulted in a wicket.
Yeah.
So it hasn't lost them a wicket. That's the deciding factor at the moment. You're right. I think they're probably 4, 5, 6 runs shy of where they would be if they had a fit runner out there. Yeah. But the fact that they haven't gone backwards because of it is important. It's going to be... John Puckeridge has been on fire in the field now.
Man, he's been exceptional.
Yeah. What can he produce? If Victoria can get 5, 6, 7, 8 runs out of this, they're right back in the game, and Chris Allen has proven why he stayed out there. They've got to do it. Gee, that got big on him. He's got to get to the top. He only just gets there. Gee, he's really in struggle town. It's funny, I'm not... Not sure how much actual pain it's causing him or whether it's just restrictive.
Yeah.
It's his
I
lower hammy?
Yeah, I think it's his right hammy there. And look, I think it's fair to say if Victoria do happen to pull this one out and go on to win, I don't think we'd be seeing him in the next game.
Well, that's true.
I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, he'd have to play again later today. Happy to block that one. Looks to me like, in particular because of this injury, that this innings is about staying in the game rather than trying to get back on top. And they've achieved that so far. Well, chance, big dive and he's home. New South Wales don't like the call, but Rob Jan's pretty quick. In sharp contrast to his skipper at the other end. See, New South Wales have probably failed to capitalise on this a little bit.
Oh, big time.
They've gone to the wrong end. You called it earlier. The throw's got to go to Chris Allen's end every time. Yeah, see, it's probably a run.
It's frustration. It's frustrating, isn't it, mate?
I think we're on the money in terms of this, probably 5 or 6 runs shy because of the injury. Last ball.
And they've taken off the gloves there. He's at the non-strikers and no one's running.
So you got to question that. History will be the judge as to whether or not it was the right decision for Chris Allen to stay out there. But the fact is he did. The fact is they posted 22. And the fact is Victoria is still in the game. So we can question as much as we like, but he'll feel like at least that part of the mission is accomplished. And look, it could have. He's gone in there. They know that he's carrying that injury, I guess. There was a conscious choice. They're backing their last 4 batsmen to get them home here. Yeah,
and look, they didn't lose a wicket in that batting partnership, which is also something to be mindful of as well. And again, looking at the glass half full side of things, you do have to admire the courage of the captain by wanting to go out there and
one of the toughest guys in the business, mate, no question.
Because I'll tell you right now, if that's me, I'm like, no. Get me out of here right now. I'm as tough as wet tissue paper, mate. There's no way I'd be out there. But
I'm a bit of a wet puddle myself, So.
So, really well done. Quite a brave performance out there today. And you know what? If they come off to win,
he'll look $1 million.
There'll be statues all over Victoria.
All back in Tassie. And Jason Smith, he's bowling his second over. His first one produced 2 wickets. So can he do it again? Matt Malia is the strike batsman. Dean Liddy at the non-striker's end. Through the gap. Chance at the top. Oh, direct hit. Malia just home. Shaking his head as if to tell the umpire no. I think you'll find it's up to umpire Todd. Matthew. Smith continues. Oh, and beaten. There's still, despite all our commentary over the second pair and the merits or lack thereof of Chris Allen staying out there, the fact is New South Wales still well on top in this game. 70-odd runs needed by this pair to win, the last 2 pairs to win. A lot of work to do for the Victorians.
Yeah, there's a bit of heavy lifting to come if the Vics are going to get home here today. New South Wales, if they play nice, sensible cricket here, you'd think they'd get home, but Victoria, they're not going to die wondering today. That's called leg side, well watched.
Yeah, and handy that. The first 4 overs, New South Wales were absolutely on fire with the ball and in the field, and that second pair with Chris Allen out there sort of starved them a little bit of the action. So, maybe that's what that was all about. Go out there and soak all of that pressure up, soak all of that momentum up, and really give the last 2 pairs the best possible run at it over the course of the last 8 overs. 5 runs off the first. What does that mean? 7 5s 35 won't be enough. They need to score at a higher rate than they are. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be this pair? Are they going to leave it all to the last?
I think it'll be left to the last. Yeah, I've got a feeling that last batting partnership are going to come out and they're going to have to bomb on about 40.
So that'll be Kneebone and Haffinen. What sort of a tournament have those guys got under their belt? Leave you to do some detective work on that as Michael Horgan bowling now the 10th over. Dean Liddy on strike. The big shot falls Safe. Very lucky there. Just caught the top net and just fell awkwardly based on how it was anticipated by, I think, Britt. It is there on the 3 line. So got away with that, Liddy.
Yeah, Huffenden and Kneebone both averaging almost perfectly 11, so you'd expect 22 to come from them. Of course, oh, he's turned like the Queen Mary there, is Liddy. It was a long way around. It was like the Titanic and the iceberg that stopped everything. Turn around, here comes the ice. Nah, couldn't get around in time. It took an awful eternity to get back.
Yeah, and it's the first wicket for New South Wales in 6 overs. But already, despite the fact that it's been 6 overs, it's really pegged Victoria back. So critical stuff here. Just shows how important maintaining their wicket is going to be and how difficult a task it is they have ahead of them, the Vics. It's up and caught. Deflection off Stuart Adams, and the skipper, Birakowski, sticks the right duke out and takes the catch. Check it out on the replay thanks to playcricket.com.au. There it is, a little deflection, and thank you very much, says the skipper. New South Wales are right back on top. Well, gets it through to the back. Does Liddy. Not sure if that's where he meant for the ball to go, but
no, I think
scorebooks don't paint a picture.
I think he was looking at something more up in the air and something that resembled more of a 7, but it's turned out quite well for him.
Oh, it brings the over to an end. A good one from Horgan, 2 wickets from it. And he finishes with figures of 2 for 3. And again, New South Wales right on top here. Some 6 overs remain and 69 runs required from Victoria, and have to accelerate the rate at which they're scoring and stop losing wickets. Stuart Adams is going to come on now. Interestingly, this will be the first over that he's bowled. It's not often you see someone bowl their first over in the final 6 overs of an innings.
Yeah, because it also means he's going to have to bowl a couple of deliveries. My goodness, a couple of overs in reasonably quick succession. Oh,
dropped, but it'll be run out. There was indeed. Liddy taking things into his own hands there, trying to get it to the back net, but fortunately for him, as you'll see here on the playcricket.com.au replay, just not enough elevation. Straight back to the receiver who spilled it, but did the tidy up work himself and affected the wicket. Bit hard to see Victoria resurrecting this run chase from here, Gary.
Yeah, it's getting awfully difficult. 82, the total of Victoria on 9. I think one of the reasons why they've kept Adams away from the attack for a bit, he has conceded the most runs in the team. He's the only player to be hit for triple digits. 101 runs he's leaked, so I think maybe they were just holding him back. And then once they knew that they were on top and had the game in the bag, then they can bring him on. But it does look to be New South Wales will be going through as we see a third ball. Who they'll be playing, well, that's anyone's guess on the court. Jason Tuis, ACT and Queensland are battling out.
Oh, big wicket. Again, Stuart Adams on third ball. They've saved him to the end, maybe strategically, as he said, Lowy, but he's come up with the goods. 2 for -10, if you don't mind, so far.
He might be opening up the bowling next game. Who knows?
Yeah, that ACT Queensland game you mentioned, game in the balance. Queensland looking probably the more healthy of the 2 sides at the moment. We've got, 6.5 overs remaining to get 32 runs, but ACT won't go away. We'll keep you up to date with that score as this game reaches its conclusion. Another 2 runs to the total for Malia this time with a down-up pull shot. And move the score to 6, 76 runs away from being even. That one driven straight. The batsmen don't run. Brings the over to an end. 2 for -8 for Stuart Adams.
That's pretty handy, isn't it? Holding him back, and he comes on and does that kind of caper.
Yeah. Well, that's all light blue rather than navy blue at the moment, folks. Remember, this is a sudden death final, so everything on the line for both sides, and looks like the tournament will end for Victoria in about 5 overs' time, barring a relatively major miracle.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, if Victoria get up from here, I mean, I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be pretty special.
It'll be the second coming of Christ.
Oh, mate, it seriously would be.
Well, look, I do remember seeing a team score 77 in the last pair once to win a game.
Jeez, was that a domestic level game?
No,
or was
nationals.
Tell me more.
It was under 18s in Adelaide, actually, a long time ago. I'm not going to say how long, but as I say it, I think it was still 8-ball overs, so a bit easier to score 70-odd 8-ball overs, but still it was some sort of a feat. Have to see some pretty lusty hitting from the next, 4.5 overs if we're going to see anything like that.
Right, we'll need to be going to 7 City, mate. It's,
And Liddy gives himself some room, backs away and smacks it down up on the offside. Still -2 this pair. It's really been that first 4 overs from New South Wales, and then again following up after Andrew Robjan and Chris Allen starved them of wickets. They stayed ready to come back and continue to attack. So been quite impressed by the way they've approached this match. 3 to come. It's fair delivery.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Malia there's decided just to close up shop. No, he wouldn't have, because it's now ball on a 3rd ball, so he's obviously just misinterpreted the line of that delivery. It's been called good. 3rd ball opportunity, and that's going to be a no ball off the pitch, plus the additional 2 runs. I'm sure that Liddy will ask for the ball to be re-bowled.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Hit back towards the bowler, making his ground is Malia. 2 deliveries remaining in this batting partnership.
One delivery. And they get a 7. Well, is there a glimmer of hope?
If there is, it's a very, very small one.
61 runs required from the final 4 overs. Warren Heffernan, joined by his partner at the crease, Darren Kneebone. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to have a shake at it, Gary Lowe, as we come to you from Action Indoor Sports Salisbury here in South Australia. The finals of Cricket Australia's Indoor Cricket Masters Championships. It's the minor semi-final in the over 40 men's division. Sudden death for the winner, a place in the prelim final. For the loser, it is curtains. As I said, I'm alongside Gary Lowe. My name's Cameron Walter. Thanks so much for your company on Facebook, YouTube and indoor.cricket.com.au. We hope you are enjoying the coverage. And will we be enjoying some big hitting here?
Oh, I think so. And look, if you're coming into the last four overs of your championships, why not?
Well, it's funny. I mean, if you've been watching us all day, I'll sound like a broken record. I always talk about give yourself an opportunity to win in the last pair or the last over. 20 runs off the last over is not outside the realm of possibility, right?
No.
40 runs off 3 overs is not outside the realm of possibility. But they've just got to have a crack at it. I'm not sure if that's into the 2 net or the 3 net. I'm not sure if you've noticed this as an umpire, Gary, but I certainly have. Every time an umpire's unsure about what to call it, he doesn't say it. He just puts it in the book.
Well, what I can tell you is that that was one of the very first lessons I learned as a national umpire from David Shepley, was that you always call the score. And the time that you don't call the score is when the players will notice. And
100%.
they will jump down your throat. So... if you call the score and you say it with as equal conviction as the calls that were 150% correct, you'll generally not get away with it, but it won't be as under much scrutiny. But if you don't call it and you just whack it in the book, you are bang on target, Cameron Mulder. People do tend to notice.
Well, back when I used to run a centre and teach umpires, I always taught them that umpiring is more about being a salesman than anything else.
Yeah.
Even when you're wrong, you're right.
Yeah.
Holwell continues. It's the last ball of his over. It is a dot to finish. And, 3 overs remain now for, what do they need, 56?
My maths isn't that great, mate.
What odds would you give?
Oh, they're...
$15?
No, they've got to be way more juicier than that.
Yeah. $50?
50 bucks, 50 to 1.
Oh,
Put 10 cents on them.
should probably stop talking about the odds. I've got to remember the code of conduct.
Yes, please do.
No gambling. All right, the New South Wales skipper who bowled a brilliant over early in the innings. He's bowling the 14th over now and just comes up with the goods again. That is his 4th wicket, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's pretty
Looking
impressive,
for
isn't
Michelle
it?
Pfeiffer. The ACT Queensland game. Queensland will need 13 runs from the final partnership to advance to the grand final. Lee Cusson and Matt Jenkins taking the court for Queensland. They could probably do that with their eyes closed, but ACT, pretty handy bowling and fielding side. They're not out of that game. Interesting finish over there. Birakowski continues. Plenty of width there for Heffernan to put that away for 2. We're just on the countdown now, really.
Yeah, probably a good time to reflect upon the tournament that Victoria have had. They've had their ups and downs, but they've been competitive and they've made it to the final series, and just falling a couple of hurdles short of getting to the big dance, which will be happening tomorrow.
Well, you've got to remember, Victoria were the side that finished in 3rd. They had to, when you finish 3rd, you play amongst the top 3 for the right to play in the major semi. When you finish outside of the top 3, as New South Wales did, they're actually fighting for that final place in the finals.
Yeah.
And they only squeezed in ahead of WA by 2.5 points.
There's not much in it.
Yeah, New South Wales certainly have done it harder than Victoria did. And it's paid off for them. They've bowled and fielded brilliantly in this innings.
Yeah, it was only really about New South Wales won 5 games, WA won 4 games. The skins were almost identical. New South Wales 21, WA 20. So, yeah, it just came down to that one game, and that was the difference that got them through. And now they find themselves here well on top of a Victorian outfit, and New South Wales will look like to go on to play Queensland. Game not over there on the adjacent court, but that's what we're going to predict. So that'll be an absolute belter of a game.
Well, yeah, look, as this tournament reaches its conclusion, there's plenty of a promise of some fantastic action to come. A lot of giants of indoor cricket, both in terms of individuals and teams, that are vying for the national title here across all of the divisions that we have here at Cricket Australia's Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. And not only competing for that national glory, but also international honours with a place in the World Cup sides travelling to South Africa in October on the line. October, I say, maybe September. I'll have to double check those dates, but later this year they're travelling to South Africa for the Masters World Series. So lots on the line for all of these players. Adams bowling his 2nd over now. Driven, chance, not taken cleanly at the back, so they get away with it. Move to 9 runs. Puckeridge again, leaping in the air. Speculative, that one. Thanks, Gary. The 19th to the 26th of October. Cape Town this time. Last time we were there, it was in Joburg. Cape Town, a lovely part of South Africa, all of South Africa. Wonderful country. Certainly enjoyed my time over there. Hello to all my South African friends watching from the great country of South Africa.
Yeah, we were talking off earlier and you were discussing it. Johannesburg, you had an enjoyable time when you were over there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, very welcoming people over there in South Africa, and they put on a smorgasbord for us over there.
Did they?
Yeah.
Mate, I got to tell you, I'm addicted to biltong. It's their It's kind of like that beef jerky thing that they do.
Yep.
Oh, God. It's a real problem for me.
It's up. It'll fall safe. A diving effort from Holwell. It's through for 4 runs to finish the over from Stuart Adams. He finishes with figures of 3 for 3. And, 1 over remains in the tournament for Victoria. They'll know that. New South Wales' mind will already have turned towards their next game. Well, 11 runs in that major semi-final required by Queensland in 3 overs. It'll be a tight finish. That's not a sudden death game, though. So the winner of Queensland ACT will go through to the final. The loser will take on New South Wales in the prelim. Here's Puckeridge. It's jammed down by Heffernan. Get away with 1. He's had a great game, Puckeridge, particularly in the field.
Yeah, he's been electric.
He set the tone earlier.
And that'll be one of the things that might as well have a wee little chat about it right now. I mean, that's where I think the game was won and run was the beginning 4 overs for Victoria. You know,
yeah.
They just turned it on, the New South Welshmen, and it was all apples for them from there on in.
A dot ball there, and 3 balls remain now. Driven straight back to Holwell, who flicks down the stumps, and another wicket falls with Darren Kneebone standing in no man's land. And New South Wales, well, I'm surprised they're even bothering to come in, to be honest. It's all much of a muchness now, all academic, as they say.
You do quite often see the old aerial huddles. You know, everyone will put their hands in from a distance and just pretend they're in the middle there. And
yeah. Two to come. Oh, direct hit. Kneebone's home. And 1 ball remains now in the minor semi-final and in Victoria's tournament. Give us a 7, Darren Kneebone.
I reckon 4.
Out.
-5.
And that brings the over to an end. And the match. What a performance it was from New South Wales, defending their total of 82 rather emphatically. They keep their tournament alive and advance to the prelim final up against either ACT or Queensland. For Victoria, it is the end of a tournament. A valiant performance from them throughout the tournament itself and, of course, in this final. But New South Wales just too good today. Gary Lowe, we were talking about it earlier, but let's reiterate the point. Where did the match turn?
Yeah, discussed it the beginning of that 4th batting partnership there. You know, we said that was really going to set the tone for how the game was going to go or what kind of direction it was going to run in. And, New South Wales, 82 is about their score. That's exactly what we said. We discussed it. It was early 80s, mid 85s. Victoria was somewhere around the 60s, and they didn't get there. And that was purely because of the outstanding fielding from the New South Welshmen. Brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. They were all over it in those first 4 overs, weren't they? And it really set the tone for the innings. So congratulations to New South Wales. Their tournament remains alive. Our commiserations to Victoria, but of course, well done for the tournament that they've put on. I'm sure they'll enjoy not having to recover after this game, and they can put their feet up and enjoy the rest of the action here at Action Indoor Sports Salisbury, as can you, as we continue to bring you the finals of Cricket Australia's Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. Until we do that, thank you very much for your company, Gary Lowe. Thank you for yours.
Thank you very much for having me, Cameron Walter.
Once again, I'm Cameron Walter, and on behalf of Cricket Australia and the broadcast team and our partners at Sportscast, thanks so much for your company. We'll see you next time.